Hey everyone, in today's video I'll be talking about which Pokemon card sets in Standard you should be buying and opening, whether that's through the code cards you can redeem on PTCGO and use for trading, the tradable packs you can get from winning in-game events, or through buying packs in the in-game shop with the coins you earn through playing the game. To start, with rotation on August 28th, there are now only 10 sets currently in Standard, from Team Up all the way up to Champion's Path, which released at the end of September. We're also getting the final set of the year, Vivid Voltage, on November 13th, but I won't be talking about that today because it's still a month away. Even with only 10 sets in Standard, it can still be overwhelming and confusing to know which sets you should be caring about, so instead of starting with what you should buy, I will be telling you what you definitely shouldn't buy, and that is Hidden Fates, Champion's Path, and Detective Pikachu. Since all three of these sets are special sets, you can never buy them in-game with your coins, and you can only get them by redeeming code cards inside packs, or obviously getting them through trades in the game, but you should never ever do this. Why is that? Well, Detective Pikachu only has 18 cards in the set, there's only 4 cards per pack, and none of the cards are really playable at all. Hidden Fates, meanwhile, that just got destroyed by rotation. All but one of the Shiny Vault cards is out of Standard, meaning the value of every Shiny Vault card went way down, and in the process, so did the set's value. Additionally, Hidden Fates itself is not a competitive set, so yeah, avoid it at all costs now. And the story is similar for Champion's Path. Even though it just came out, it is not something you should invest in right now. It only has 73 cards before secret rares, and the vast majority are either reprints or unplayable. Yes, Wailord V is good and is holding its value, and maybe Alcremie VMAX and Gardevoir VMAX get better in the future, but it's just not worth the price of getting your hands on Champion's Path right now. For all three of these special sets that I mentioned, if you happen to have some in your collection and they're tradable, instead of opening them, trade them for cards you want or for some of the sets that I recommend. So with that out of the way, we're down to 7 sets, and I will now turn my attention to which code cards are the best to buy from stores and use for trading before talking about which ones you should buy in the game with your coins. A general rule with PTCGO is that you should always get the newest main set when it comes to trading, and in this case that is Darkness Ablaze. Because of its newness, the value of a brand new set will remain above all other standard sets, usually for the typical 3 months, then the new set comes out and it settles shortly after. So, Darkness Ablaze is the smartest to use right now, not only because it's the most valuable, but also because it's the set everyone is looking to trade for. What I mean by that is, sure, you might have a set like Champion's Path that is technically worth more than Darkness Ablaze right now, but people don't really want Champion's Path packs. They want Darkness Ablaze, so you do have to be smart and not only get the packs that have good value, but also the sets that people are actively looking to get in return for their cards. Now, if you're watching this video a few months after Darkness Ablaze has come out, let's say it's early 2021, and you're wondering if Darkness Ablaze is still worth getting, I would say yes, so long as it's not too expensive. A set holds its value based on the playability and value of the cards inside. And Darkness Ablaze has Crobat V, which is an ultra rare that is in basically every competitive deck and will remain at a high value for the next 2 years. Additionally, Darkness Ablaze has Eternatus V and Eternatus VMAX, 2 cards that help make up one of the best decks in Standard, as well as Centiskorch V and Centiskorch VMAX, 2 cards that make up another top deck. If I had to rank the 3 Sword and Shield sets in terms of value and longevity, I would pick base set first because that has the super expensive Secret Rare Quick Ball, which is worth 100 packs. So simply because of that one card, the long-term value of the set will always remain high. And let's not forget that there's the Full Art Marnie, the Full Art Professor's Research, Zacian V, so there's a lot of good cards in Sword and Shield that will help keep the value up high. But again, going for the most recent set is usually a good rule of thumb, and it's hard to say if Sword and Shield base set is going to be highly valuable in trades, like if people are really going to want it, but it's still, over the next 2 years, it is going to keep its value for sure. After Sword and Shield base set, it is definitely Darkness Ablaze, Crobat V is awesome, and then in very far last is Rebel Clash. Rebel Clash is a fine set, it has some good cards, but it's not worth investing in. But the market will ultimately determine what happens, and again, I have to reiterate, the most recent main set is the main currency when trading. Sure, you might have a pack worth more than Darkness Ablaze on a trading guide, but if nobody wants it, then it isn't very useful. And what about the 4 Sun and Moon sets? Cosmic Eclipse, Unified Minds, Unbroken Bonds, and Team Up. What about those? Well, starting with Team Up, the Jirachi's price inside here has absolutely tanked thanks to the lead battle decks and is infamously tough to pull, and Pikarom was not only in that same lead battle deck, but it was recently given away for free in the game, so Team Up would not be my top choice. Unbroken Bonds has the Dedenne GX and some helpful trainers, and even with the trainer's toolkit, it still has some value, so it's not a horrible option. And Unified Minds, meanwhile, has obviously the Mewtwo and Mew GX and some other really good cards, but the set never really seems to get the respect it deserves. And then we have Cosmic Eclipse. That has Arceus Dialga Palkia, the Full Art Tag Team supporters, and just a whole bunch more, so it's a very good choice. Though with the ADPization lead battle deck in November, the value of Arceus Dialga Palkia is likely to go way down, taking the set with it. Ultimately, all 4 of the Sun and Moon sets in Standard are really close in terms of value, but it would appear that the market has Unbroken Bonds and Team Up at the top, then Cosmic Eclipse, and finally Unified Minds. But if you were to open one, I would say Cosmic Eclipse is probably the best right now, just because you can get Jirachi and Dedenne pretty cheap. Now, regardless of what the market says, it really depends what PTCGO code sites are doing. I checked online, and Card Cavern has the best prices right now with Sword and Shield base set at 20 cents US, and that is just great bang for your buck. Darkness Ablaze, meanwhile, is 43 cents US each, and if you want to ensure the quickest, fairest trade, that's what you want to pick. As for the rest, Rebel Clash is the same price as Sword and Shield base set, so avoid Rebel Clash at all costs. You never want to get that over Sword and Shield base set. And it's the same with Cosmic Eclipse and Unified Minds. They're the exact same price as Sword and Shield base set. Go with Sword and Shield base set over Cosmic Eclipse and Unified Minds 100% of the time. And then we have Unbroken Bonds and Team Up. They are at 38 cents and 48 cents respectively. I can just get them in the frame there. They're more expensive right now due to their age, not their in-game value. So again, stick with Darkness Ablaze. I checked online today and you could trade 10 Darkness Ablaze packs for 12 Team Up packs. Yet if you were to buy them online, Team Up is more expensive than Darkness Ablaze, but in the game, Darkness Ablaze is worth more than Team Up. To make a long story short, if you're buying code cards online, whether that's through Card Cavern, any other site, someplace you can find them cheap, wherever you buy them from, you should only be looking at Darkness Ablaze and Sword and Shield base set. None of these Sun and Moon, just Darkness Ablaze and Sword and Shield base set. Those are the best ones right now. Now, what about buying packs in-game with your coins? Well, that is really up to you and the decks you want to build. You could cast a wide net and buy 10 packs of each standard set to buff up your collection and try to get staple trainers. Or you could focus on a single set that has cards you need like Crobat V and Darkness Ablaze or Dedenne GX and Unbroken Bonds. My suggestion is to find a deck you like, check the symbol in the bottom left of the card to see what set the majority of the cards in that deck are from, and open that set until you get what you need. For example, I'll use the Arceus Dialga Palkia deck. So in this deck, you have Crobat V, that is from Darkness Ablaze. You can see the set symbol right there. That's from Darkness Ablaze. Arceus Dialga Palkia is from Cosmic Eclipse. Dedenne GX is from Unbroken Bonds. The Mawile GX is from Unified Minds. The Zacian V is from Sword and Shield base set. The Zamazenta is from Sword and Shield base set. And actually, this is an older list, so don't pay attention to some of those. And then you have something like Boss's Orders from Rebel Clash. So there isn't really a good strategy that you can use to, I want to make this deck, but I want to just use in-game coins. There's not really a strategy. You just have to pick a set, hope that you get what you need, and if you don't get what you need, you have to just go online and trade for what you want. So honestly, for a deck like this with so many ultra rare cards scattered around multiple sets, your best bet is to target the trainers that you want. So you have Cherish Ball, Crushing Hammer, Energy Spinner, Energy Switch, Metal Saucer. I think going for Sword and Shield base set for a deck like ADP is really good. Crushing Hammer, you can take that out of the list. That's up to you. But Sword and Shield base set has Crushing Hammer. It has Energy Switch. It has Metal Saucer. It has Quick Ball. It has Switch. It has a lot of good cards that you need. It also has Marnie and Professor's Research, Air Balloon, has Big Charm. So I think going for Sword and Shield base set for a deck like this is really good. But ultimately, target the trainers because those are the cards you're most likely to get, and then just keep your fingers crossed that you get the ultra rares. I know I've probably confused more than a few new players up to this point, so I'll simplify this video by answering the question in the title again. which standard sets should you buy and open? Right now, Darkness Ablaze is your best choice, and I'd put Sword and Shield base set right behind it. But as my many pack openings have shown, you could go 25 packs without pulling any ultra rares and you've just wasted your money. So as I always say, you should use packs to trade for what you want instead of opening them, except for the ones in the in-game store that you can buy with your coins. For those ones, find the trainers that you want for the decks you want to build, target those, and then hope that you get the ultra rares from those as well. But again, if you can't get the ultra rares, then you're going to have to buy Darkness Ablaze or Sword and Shield base set, and then turn those into the cards that you need. And that about does it. I'll try to be as active as I can in the comments, so if you have any questions about set value or what sets to buy or what set a card is in, ask away. I'm doing my best to help out new players with everything I've learned in my time with the game. Alternatively, the PTCGO subreddit is a great place for learning and asking questions, and if you want more content like this, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time, potentially with a video talking about the expanded sets you should buy, but I'm not 100% sure it's necessary. Who knows? We'll see. I'll see you then.